There's a few things that we didn't know that have come to light today, and one of the most important is that the unnamed presenter was mentioned to the police by the parents of the young person at the centre of the allegations raised by the Sun on the 6th of July, that this person was, the unnamed presenter was mentioned to the police in April. So there's a number of people who've left comments saying, why didn't the parents go to the police rather than to the BBC? The police said that they couldn't see anything criminal in the issue. No criminality was identified. And yet, there seems to be a criminal issue in exchanging photographs of somebody who is only 17. So there seems to be a criminal issue, although the police say that no criminality was identified. And this led the parents to go to the BBC. Meanwhile, the second young person has now come forward, who has not been to the police, who has not made an official complaint to the BBC, but it doesn't look good for the unidentified presenter. And one wonders how many other people are going to come out of the woodwork. It's not the issue that the unidentified presenter is getting on to apps and dating apps. The issue is that he is using his authority and is threatening, apparently, allegedly, threatening people. He seems to have called up the initial unidentified young person to say, why have you gone to the media? Why have you talked to the BBC? And was apparently threatening and intimidating then, allegedly. Maybe not, because of course the young person in that case has then gone on to speak to the BBC through their lawyer and saying nothing inappropriate or unlawful has taken place. Now, Mahyar Tousi has done a rather brilliant summary of the situation at this moment. And he says, he uses words like concerning, and he, like me, is concerned about the BBC management of this story. Why is there this 7-week gap, this lacuna, this hole? Why is there a 7-week gap between the 19th of May and the 6th of July, when the Sun informed the BBC that it was going to run the story? And even from the 6th of July to the 11th to today, we now learn that Tim Davie has still not spoken to the presenter, to the unidentified presenter. And Mahyar Tousi says rather entertainingly that Tim Davie, when he was giving his interview, I didn't notice this, I must say Mahyar Tousi is good. He said that Tim Davie used the back door of Broadcasting House, so he was avoiding journalists. He said it's embarrassing. It certainly is. And that is the overall overreaching conclusion. It is embarrassing. The BBC, this bastion of broadcasting propriety, is creeping around the place, almost more creepily than the creepy presenter. Of course, different types of creepiness, but stalking around the place, trying not to be seen. And it's just wrong. It's just wrong. The BBC needs to have taken control of this story, and it hasn't done. And it's hiding, really, it's hiding behind legalese and anonymity. And all this is doing is building up that whodunit question. If anybody wanted a promotion for Agatha Christie's 100th anniversary, this is it. Whodunit. You know, any minute now we're going to have Poirot in the living room assembling all the characters and saying what has happened and what has not happened. But I think the bottom line is we haven't met all the characters yet. I think there's going to be more dirt dished over the next few days. I don't think we should take a great salacious interest in it. I think the problem is the BBC. The dirt and how this particular manifestation of BBC failure is exposed, that will trickle out over the next few days. And in the end, the person will have to give an interview or will be named by somebody. And it will be shameful and painful. And I'm very sorry. I really am very, very sorry for him. I'm particularly sorry for the young people involved and for their families. They are being dragged through this misery because the BBC did not get to grips with it 7 weeks ago. The BBC needs to overhaul the way it does things, and it needs to grow up. The BBC has a great duty, a great responsibility, and it is not manifest. Its sense of responsibility is extraordinarily lax at the moment, and it is playing into the mindset of the present government.